Hi legends! Welcome back. We're going to be watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs today. You will see how this ties in. It may seem like a very random choice to make at the minute, but it ties in, I promise. There's another video coming out soon. It will tie into that. This is almost research for me. So we're going to watch the original Snow White. The last time I watched it, I was probably like 4 or 5. So it's been a hot second. I don't really remember much about it. All I know is that the ride in Disneyland scared me as a child. The one in Paris, I've never been to the American one. And it's only just because of the evil queen. But we will see if she's still scary. We'll watch it again. Is this movie feminist? Is it not? Let's find out. Because that's up for debate, isn't it? That's a big part of the controversy at the minute. But before we get started, don't forget to check out my socials, subscribe, comment if you want. And if you want to see the full-length reaction, that'll be available on my Patreon down below. Oh, this is very epic. It's not going to, but it would be very cool if the actual new Snow White coming out started with this. Normally I don't like credits at the beginning, but this has a nice little vibe to it, you know? I'm vibing. Once upon a time there lived a lovely little princess named Snow White. Her vain, wicked stepmother, the queen, feared that someday Snow White's beauty would surpass her own, so she dressed up little princess in rags and forced her to work as a scullery maid. Yes, I can read. Oh my god, we got more. Each day the vain queen consulted her magic mirror. Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of one of all? Wait, let's pause it. That also ties into the whole Mandela effect. That was a whole thing for a while where everyone thought she said mirror, mirror, but then she says magic mirror, and even adaptations have had her saying mirror, mirror. But it makes sense to actually say magic mirror when you think about it. And as long as the mirror answered, you were the fairest one of all, Snow White was safe from the queen's cruel jealousy. Girl boss. Look at that cape. Oh, are we the first words being slave in the magic mirror? Okay.
Rags cannot hide her gentle grace.
Rags? I doubt it's gonna look like rags. What should be normal people clothes? They're calling these rags. It's quite a nice little dress. Sure, it's dull, but rags? They're being a bit harsh. Oh, you know what though? It is a bit... It's like someone took scissors to the bottom. Fair enough. But the top half is giving... Ooh, we have that really like old school singing. Like the really intense vibrato can be a bit creepy sometimes. Like I was listening to the soundtrack for this movie a couple days ago and I didn't remember it being so vibrato-y, and it's quite haunting almost. Oh, to be fair, the life expectancy back here probably not as high. Oh my goodness, he's here. She summoned him. Powerful girl boss. She's the OG manifester. OG manifesting. She invented manifesting. Convince me otherwise. Kind of killing the vibe though. Same girly. Running away from men. Scary. Not her already being smitten within a second. Okay. This is where I'll jump in with the whole, like, I guess, feminist angle here. There's nothing wrong with your dream or wish being wanting to fall in love. Not an issue at all. If this is what she wants, not an issue. I guess the only issue people have sometimes with this is, like, in this moment here, 2 seconds within a meeting, they're already, like, in love, when that's not really realistic. But then I guess you could argue he is being portrayed in the exact same way. Oh my god, yes, sent him a pigeon. It's blushing. Damn. Doesn't even seem that good looking. If you can make a bird blush, I better expect, like, chiseled by the gods, you know?
You will kill her.
But your majesty...
She said go slay, literally. Kind of a cool box. I mean, did she make it herself? I doubt it. She probably had some of her slaves, her peasants do it for her.
Oh, please don't cry.
Oh, he was on her ass. 2 seconds ago he was in the castle. He's already trailing her. I mean, I guess at least the queen knows what she's getting. She's got a good huntsman here. I wouldn't fire him. This is quite the impressive hustle.
I can't
can't do it.
He has a heart, which is very ironic because the one thing that the Queen wants is a heart.
Run!
Now, this is cardio that's impressive, so... Well, we can see she has stamina. She's not exactly a damsel in distress right now. There's gonna be some rags as well soon. She's one nice dress and she's ruining it. This orchestra is going off, though. This is the kind of music they should start playing at clubs. Then I would show up. So me. Things get overwhelming, just lie down. Give up. Wow, the music really is going off. It is the proper backbone of this movie that's holding it together. Imagine if there was no music here. It would be awful. The music is the glue. I guess some people fall into the trap of believing that if a woman is displayed as any type of... If she shows any type of weakness, as Snow White has shown so far in this movie by, you know, being very overwhelmed, which is a normal human trait to have, people view that as, like, not feminist, when that's just simply not true. I'm glad that this style of singing is moved, you know, we've gone past it now. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It works for this and for back in the day, but we've moved on for a reason. Oh, to frolic in nature with a bunch of animals in a dress. That is the dream. All this score is doing numbers. Whoever composed it deserves a raise. They're probably rest in peace in the ground now, sadly, but this is very iconic.
Guess there's no one home.
Yes, breakering and entering. Breakering? But yeah, let's break in.
And just look at that fireplace. It's covered with dust.
Bruh, they were gross up in this little cottage. I don't know how you could be okay with living like this.
You'd think their mother would. Maybe they have no mother.
See, look, totally get that point if you want to point that out then. They didn't, like, mention a father. It was like, the mother should clean up after them. Well, that's not true. But yes, if anything, that would be an issue from this movie that I see they'd want to change. It's only that small little line. And I guess so that does also show the values they had of women when making this movie, with the fact that I'm pretty sure Snow White will be cleaning up this place because she believes it's a woman's role. Hence to her saying mother, not father.
Now you wash the dishes. You tidy up the room. You clean the fireplace.
They got this whole house renovation for free. But I know they're not going to be grateful for it. I'm looking forward to, hopefully we get some updated songs in the new one. Because I would like to have some newly done songs. Because as I said, you know, this isn't my favourite style of singing. These are also iconic songs, so I can bop to them. Yeah, the disrespect is potent. I know that mouse was cussing them out. Rightfully so. For all we know, that mouse has it very tidy up in that little cubby hole there. I love all the sparkly little stars in here in the mines. It's such a pretty way to have it look. These tunes are also recognisable though, because anyone would recognise this song, or any of the songs so far. Even if it's just the faintest recognition, it's still there. Like, find me one person that does not know this part. Oh, it's too good. They knew they had a hit when they were singing this back and forth from work. Oh, look at this setting with that orange sky. Kind of like this Lion King.
Let's see what's upstairs.
Ooh, she being real nosy in this place that she broke into. Nothing's holding her back. Her and Shawn Mendes, one and the same. Right, it's now... The sun's gone down, they're still singing. Breath control. Do you think they'd choose a cottage though that was a little bit closer to their workplace? Because they all work there together. Again, the music. Holding this together. The way it goes with their footsteps. Genius mastermind. I would argue this really set the tone for a lot of animation to come.
Search every cook and nanny, hook and granny, crooked search everywhere.
I was about to say funny. That would have been funny though.
Shh, quiet.
I don't believe they've been in this cottage long enough though, because they don't seem to know every single creaky floorboard that they have. fake homeowners. Remove your fingers from his nostril. That is gross. Oh, that's so ridiculous. If your nostrils have that power, you need to go see a doctor. Maybe he's a superhero. Yes, we love tormenting men. That is one unique yawn, if I've ever heard one.
Hurry, man. It's now or never. Off with his head. Break his bone. Chop it to pieces.
Bit of Alice in Wonderland. They reference like Pinocchio, Alice in Wonderland and all of that. And this is before they even came out. Kind of love that. This movie could have been real short if they just eliminated her here and there. Because they were close to it. Girlie sleeps like she's a mummy.
And all females is poison. They're full of wicked wiles.
Well, we have the misogynistic Grumpy.
You're sneezy.
I hate to think the amount of snot that's been collected on their fingers.
We know who we are. Ask her who she is. What she's doing here. Yeah.
Kind of got a point though, you do have a home intruder. That's technically what she is at this point in time.
I'll keep house for you. I'll wash and sew and sweep and cook and...
See, these were like the old values for a woman. So I get why they're changing that part of the movie. Like, that's the only value she sees that she can bring to this house. Nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just the only role she's cast it in. And all she's seen of capable of doing is this part.
You'll just have time to wash.
Wash? Wash?
We're in hell. You're telling me they're this disgusting? They spend all day in a mine? They don't wash? I know they've got clumps in all their crevices, clumps of dirt.
Oh, perhaps you have washed.
Perhaps we... Yes. Perhaps we have.
What do you mean they're not washing? They're not cleaning, they're not washing, they're not cooking for themselves. We are in hell. I know it's stinking up that house though, them men being in there. It's stinky. So I guess another thing you can see is that Snow White is having to mother these grown men. Because just because they're small doesn't mean they're children or young. No, they're still grown men. And they can't be asked to clean up after themselves or wash themselves. Basic human things. And she's having to mother them. Yeah, that is a bit outdated. Is it controversial to say that? It shouldn't be. It's just pointing out it's a bit of a ridiculous thing for her to have to do in this movie.
Women.
Courage, men. Courage. Don't be nervous.
Not them being nervous to wash. This is gross.
You have to wash where it doesn't show.
Yes, please, yes. Now, I don't want to see them get naked, but they do need to get in their crevices because I just know it's disgusting up there. Like, that fly is cleaner than all of them.
A fine bunch of water lilies you turned out to be.
But at least they're not going to harvest a bunch of diseases and infections.
I'd like to see anybody make me wash if it isn't water.
Imagine being scared of water like this because a woman suggests that you go clean yourself. A little bit embarrassing, sir. I didn't realise though how little screen time Snow White is getting in her own movie. This is called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but so far it's the Seven Dwarfs and Snow White. Because this movie, I didn't realise how much it really focuses on the Seven Dwarfs. At least in this first half. And it definitely got 1,000,000 times more lines than Snow White has in this movie. At this rate, Dopey's got more lines than her. I want to see more Snow White though, or the Evil Queen, which I think we're going to get now.
Who now is the fairest one of all?
Over the 7 jeweled hills, beyond the 7th fall, in the cottage of the 7 dwarfs.
This magic mirror was just stirring up some drama though. I feel like the magic mirror could have just said you to the Evil Queen. He could have lied, he could have sprinkled a little lie in there.
Behold her heart.
It's a pig's heart. Well, at least it wasn't once upon a time.
The heart of a pig.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, this is such a power moment though. That cape, the way it goes with the wind, she knows how to work it. If you wear a cape, you kind of have to know how to work it, otherwise it just looks a bit stupid. But this... What is cool though is that even though this is a very old movie, the most powerful person in this land is a woman. It is the queen, and she's the ruler of the kingdom. There is no king, it's the queen. I guess the only issue is a lot of movies that present women in power, they're not presented as the good character, they're presented as the villain, which then could be seen as an issue because anytime a woman's seen in power, then it's seen as an issue rather than something to be celebrated. Also, funny how it's called mummy dust. You know, let's go back. Please. Why? Why are you not there? Let's go back. But yeah, it's funny how they're using mummy dust to make her old and haggard. Which is kind of ironic considering that they're portraying Snow White as this motherly character, but then they're using mummy dust to make... Or is this a different way? Let's see this through. Maybe she'll use a different one. But it'd be kind of funky if they used the mummy dust to then make her look like the scary evil queen.
An old hag's
Oh, okay, they're adding the old hag's cackle too. Okay, cool.
My hair.
Kind of looks juicy though.
A scream of fright.
Oh, not as much now. When it was red, I would drink that in a heartbeat. But look at her go. Sorcerer who? This is so girl slay. It's hard not to root for her though, because she's making it look so cool. Ooh. But yeah, don't lie to me. Don't tell me this didn't scare you as a child. I know so many of my friends and so many people in real life were scared of her as the old hag and scared of her in the ride. I remember for years I wouldn't go on the ride in Disneyland Paris because it was too scary.
Sleeping death.
So lame though. There's a woman that's potentially prettier than her. She says, death. Immediately death. She needs to be eliminated. Cannot be allowed. That's haunting, that fade out. 4-year-old me would have been screaming, shaking, crying. I mean, yeah, I'd be staring at that Adam's apple too. It's a bit suspicious. Did you eat the apple yourself, Adam? Not that nasty fly they're taking residence up in their house, although it deserves to be there too because they are nasty men who could do with a couple more baths today, immediately, because they've not washed in, I believe, a century. So far, though, I guess as well, Snow White has just been a very passive character. There's not been really any character growth, or there's not even really an arc to follow with her. In the first 5 minutes, she said she dreamed that a prince would come see her. He did. And then she was told to run, and she ran. And now she's here, hiding from the queen. But there's not really much else to her, except for her being kind and all those things, and that's lovely. Good for her. Not a bad thing at all. But she has a lack of character development. Whereas Grumpy, I can see going from... He is a pipeline to follow, because he doesn't like her at all. He's a tad misogynistic, just a tad. And I believe by the end of it, we'll probably see him accept her a bit more. So really, Grumpy might get the most character development in this movie. It's a shame though, I don't think they're going to be doing this song in the new one. And I would love to hear Rachel sing this song. I think she could do it such justice. Because again, there's nothing wrong with Snow White wanting this for herself, like wanting a prince. I guess my issue comes with the fact that Snow White has no character development outside of this. She's a very passive protagonist in her own story. Honestly, my favourite scenes so far have been watching the Queen. Ooh, kind of iconic. I would not hesitate to eat that apple. That was one juicy looking apple, just like the drink she had. Oh, it'd be so easy to tempt me to bite that apple.
Can be revived only by
Oh, but it's okay, it's not true love's kiss, it's love's first kiss. Okay.
First kiss.
She's like, haha, that Snow White's a loner. No love, yep. Oh my. Well, not the witch, the Queen really was coming for her neck. And I have to support it. Oh my god, yes, make a dramatic exit. We know she is ruthless. I just can't hate her for this. She's the only one in this movie that's kind of doing something. She's actively doing something to pursue her goals, even if it is quite a vain goal.
Beware the strangers.
That's gone right over her head.
I'll be all right.
Not trying to get a kiss on the lips. My guy, calm down. I kind of feel bad for her kissing their dusty, musty, crusty foreheads. He can't just expect a kiss on the head after he's been rude to her. Oh, he likes her now that he's had a kiss on the head. Oh, that's so pathetic. A woman finally touched Grumpy and his misogyny left the chat. Yeah, because this is what I mean. She's a very passive character in this story because, yeah, she sings about the prince coming all the time, but she never does anything to actively make this dream a reality. She just waits for him to come to her. I love that. Whoever came up with the birds making the pies like that, revolutionary. Are you Katniss Everdeen? Are you starting the revolution? Oh. That was creepy. Oh, I'd fear my life. Talk about a jump scare in a kids' movie. Bruh. The only thing suspicious about this is she's got all those green apples in there and only one red. If she wanted to make it a bit more realistic, she should have had a bunch of other red ones in there. I get it so she knows which one's the poisoned one, but still, could have executed this a bit better, although it still works. Okay, the animals of the forest were out to defend Snow White. But she can't read a room. My poor girlie. This is why we all have trust issues. We were raised on movies like this where looking after a stranger meant death. I think the animals should have just torn the queen to shreds. They should have just gone for it. They've got teeth. I believe in them, but I also do root for the evil queen. So I'm not mad about her hustling over here at the dwarf's house.
This is no ordinary apple.
She can say like a love
It's a
apple.
magic wish.
Oh, she's gonna wish for the prince, and that's gonna be her downfall.
One bite, and all your dreams.
Technically, this isn't true though. The apple somehow does do that for her. If you think about it, it is funny that this does work. The apple does work. Because I know it's meant to obviously eliminate Snow White, and that's what it does. But it also, as a result of that, and as a consequence, also brings her true love to her. The queen was a smart pooter for that though, to twist it so that Snow White would take a bite out of it. Kind of genius. Can't even be mad. Oh, that's an iconic shot. The movie does go hard. That is kind of iconic.
There she goes.
Oh, they're having a proper witch hunt. Because I was going to say, I don't remember what happens to the queen. Does she get eliminated?
Little fools.
It's a shame she couldn't use magic to get herself out of this. Yes, I'm rooting for her to escape.
You how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get in.
I wish we'd seen her fall the way Mother Gothel does in Tangled. I love that shot in Tangled as Mother Gothel falls out of the tower. Spoiler if you haven't seen it, but it has been over a decade now. So beautiful even in death that the dwarfs could not find it in their hearts to bury her. They just started to let her get stinky up in the house. I mean, it wouldn't have changed the smell anyway. They fashioned a coffin of glass and gold and kept eternal vigil outside. Oh, okay. I thought they just had her rotting in the house. The prince who had searched far and wide heard of the maiden who slept in the glass coffin. Yes, come get your woman. But see, yeah, the apple did kind of make her wish come true. I never thought of it that way before, but that is a very interesting way to see it. The queen didn't exactly lie, but she didn't realise she wasn't lying. I love that when there's double meanings. Oh, I thought it was barefoot for a second. I was about to say, put some shoes on. We have standards. But he has got shoes on. Good for him. Oh my God. I kind of love how he spent his whole days just searching for her. He was that down bad after 5 seconds. I know that's right. Regardless of it being outdated or anything though, this is still a very cutesy movie. It really is, again, the music that makes up for the whole movie. I could listen to this score all day. It's so nostalgic and pretty sounding, and it's just so fairy tale-esque, because it is. But it's enchanting and I love it. And now they're going to ride off to his castle.
Bye, Grumpy.
Yeah, the only character in this movie who really got character development and character growth was Grumpy. And I'm not insane to point out the fact that Snow White doesn't have any character growth in this movie. She just ends up getting what she wants, but it's only out of kind of luck that she gets what she wants. Or you may say fate. That's a very pretty looking shot though. Oh, I love this song. And I'm sad we're not going to get this one, because it could sound so good. Redone. And they lived happily ever after. Kind of popped off with that one, didn't they? Okay, so that's the end of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I'm going to have a video coming out soon about the whole Rachel Zegler comments on Snow White and what I think about all of that she said. This is kind of me just doing research and rewatching the movie, refreshing my mind on the movie and seeing if it is outdated. And I would say yes, it is, because as I said, Snow White has no character development or growth in this movie. She's just there. And sure, she's kind, and sure, she's sweet. And yes, she gets what she wants, but she doesn't have an active role in getting what she wants. And there's nothing wrong with being a housewife or wanting to be that or being a mother, but it's all she's set out to be in this movie, and there's nothing else to her other than that and her kindness. But again, my main issue is she doesn't put anything towards getting her goal in this movie. It just is handed to her almost. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm excited to carry on this conversation and again carry on in another video that I will put out. But for now, we'll leave it there. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!